Look at how sick this thing looks. Well, good morning and welcome to Garage. So today on ShartKart, number one, we gotta finish the bash bar, the supports for the intercooler and radiator. Moving on to number two, we got some sidebar stuff. I wanted to do this originally, a little bit more protection for us riding along in it. Number three, we're gonna do some gussets in the bash bar, some in here just to reinforce the front end. And then number four, whatever we have time for. Got a lot to do today, so I'm just gonna get started. So first things first, as far as we got on the bash bar, I made it a little bit wider than I wanted to. I do wanna protect the outside, so I wanted it to sit relatively flush. All I'm gonna do is cut this down and make it look a little bit nicer. And then I think I'm gonna offset the bottom bar in a little bit. So this will be the main bash bar, and then underneath I'll have one tucked back. Then I'm gonna take some smaller tubing to actually house the radiator and intercooler to support everything there. And while we have the bender out, I'm gonna make some pads here and add a few more bars. And then we'll see how far we get into here or even redoing the wing. Hopefully we can get it all done.
How we looking?
Good, man. Front end's pretty much done. Got the coolers all mounted. Gonna have to do just a few little things, mount that cooler, but I need to get that out of harm's way. I don't really like to stack coolers. If they can have their own spot, cool. But I'm just a little scared to put it here or something like that because we will hit the front end. I'm pretty stoked. About as far as I can get today. All right, so we have another day. I'm just gonna keep going right into it. So we're gonna do a couple different little gussets here. And from there, I'm gonna move to the side here. I'm gonna add a pad here and another couple door bars. And then a few gussets to tie the front end up together. And we'll see if we can work to the back today. Hopefully we can because we have a lot to get done. Still gotta get this thing painted. So I'm gonna get straight into it. So I told Kyle I needed a bracket. Like that, so I could brace this baby up. Perfect. Lay a nice weld in there. All right, Cal, time to dimple day. Basically, all you gotta do, put that on there, then you just hammer that press down.
So what's the purpose of what we're doing right now?
So see, you have a flat piece here. Now, if you had, just a flat piece of steel and you put a bend in that, it's hard to bend one way or the other, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is putting that bend in there. It's a crease for structure, for rigidity. So when you pull it out, you can see it's made that bend in it right there. And that just makes it super strong. It's not just for looks.
I won't be goddamn.
It's not just for looks.
I thought people just do that because it looks tight.
It does, right? So the front end is pretty well dialed in. I have some new requested help. Blake Wilkie. What's up, bro? He's like, hey man, I'm bored and I have nothing to do. And now I put him to work. We're gonna make some kind of door bar deal to keep us protected. What, a Nerf bar? Is that what we're gonna call it?
Call them Nerf bars.
That's what I would call it. So we're gonna make a pad right here and then we're gonna shoot across there. So he's gonna bend that up. Kyle's cutting something out and I'm gonna keep moving on the rear end, I guess. So Blake and I just added these bars to the side. I like them, a little bit more of an aggressive look. Also gonna provide quite a bit of protection because your elbow tends to hang out like right here. Just having something in between you is a little nice. Moving forward, I need something for me, Kyle. So I wanna make a gusset for here.
What I'm almost thinking is we just like do a vertical H.
If you do that, let's just do it smaller then.
Okay.
8x2.
8x2?
All right.
Yeah. You guys ready?
Yeah, I'm not gonna look at it because you're the only one that has these sweet glasses. We can see. Yeah, boy.
What do you think?
That's sick. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. All right, what do we got next, buddy?
Right now, I'm gonna make a little bit more bracing in the back. In the front, I don't want this to bend either. So we're gonna make another gusset up here, put out a thinner material because I don't want it to be really heavy up front. I'm trying to keep as much nose weight down as possible, even though we kind of got super into this bash bar. Moving right along, gonna see how far we get today. Good morning, our last day of fab work. I actually have to run into a meeting. I brought in my buddy Jose. Jose has been helping me out on knuckle busters, and we've done some other team stuff together. He's here to help out. While I'm in this meeting, he's gonna do a little bit of rerouting here for the coolant lines, and then we got new motor mounts, some new suspension pieces, everything that came in from Summit, which I didn't even know you could get stock Miata parts, but we got some new control arms, stuff like that. All this stuff is bent. And then we gotta clean out the seats and all that stuff to get ready for paint. Good luck, Jose. What we got on the table? Yeah, that's gonna be sick. You know how we did the gussets in the front? Might not be a bad idea to do right here as well.
Oh,
you know, there's something
yeah,
up there, and you
okay.
can put whatever you want in it, whatever design. So Kyle just cut these out. For you guys at home, he just cut these guys out, these gussets, and these are some practice welds for him before we weld on this one. And so the back looks pretty sweet. Kyle just got some of his first welds in on ShartKart. That piece looks amazing. Got new brakes from Willwood. So these are a stock replacement brake for ShartKart. So we'll throw those on as well.
What do we got here, bud?
The rest of our parts from Summit Racing, which should be control arms and all that stuff. But we replaced it with some of them already, so now we have a bunch of spares, so we can actually send it to Sema. Yes! Kyle is gonna cut me a few pads for right here, and what I'm gonna do is continue this line from this point down to there. So this needs a little bit more structure. Anyway, you know what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Let's just get started. Well, good morning. Jose's already gotten straight to work. He got here before me. I was out on a little shred sesh. He's cutting out the spot for the house light. I'm just knocking stuff over. I thought of doing this last minute, but it was one of the first things I wanted to do. As it turns out, I don't really have that much material, so I have to replicate this piece like perfectly off of something that I eyeballed, which I think I can do. We're gonna tie in the front end, a few more gussets, and that should be basically it for fabric other than the rest of the dashboard. So we're in a pretty decent spot. Sick. So just welded this little guy in to show the ECU, which is pretty rad. And Jose's been working on this here, which I added another bar here to kind of cover this up and add some extra bracing. And Jose is working on this. And while he's working on that, I'll probably weld the other side when he's done. We're getting close to the end. Looking pretty mean. Oh, would you look at that? Dash looks super rad. Welded it in. That's one piece. Not a bad day for progress. Did a good job, Jose. It's dark. We've been here too long. We're gonna come back tomorrow. So, see you tomorrow. Good morning. We're back at it early. Jose is already prepping for the paint. We've got quite a bit done last night. We decided we're done with the fab work. I took the whole front end off already this morning, and what I'm gonna do is just weld it up, clean it up, get ready for paint, and then we're gonna get to painting this thing. We'll see if we can carry it out and get moving. All right, so we finally made it outside. I'm gonna paint the bumper separately, but I think we're gonna start from the inside out. Start with a good primer on the inside, work to the outside. We're gonna prime everything, prime the bars, prime the dash, and then we'll continue to paint the inside and all of these different panels that are flat panels that are not bars. We'll paint that, and then we'll tape that off and paint the cage and bars, everything, the front bar, the bash bars, everything. Should be pretty cool, but it's gonna take a long time, so we're gonna get right into it. So we got the dash and interior stuff all painted. So we're gonna move on to the bars. I've already painted the front bash bar white a little bit. Needs to rotate and flip the other side. Then we'll do the rest of the bars white, but it's a little tacky right now. So we're gonna let that dry, because if we tape it up, we don't wanna screw it up. So what we're gonna do, we got new wheels. Look at these from 3-piece wheels. 15 by 8 minus 15. They're gonna look really good. So we're gonna mount up some tires in the meantime, let this dry, and then we'll tape it back up. Look at how sick this thing looks. Everything's back together. We'll throw the seats in it on Monday, but we also have to do the new BCL wing, which is the last missing piece. I think we're good. We're good for the moment. We're gonna come back on Monday. Thanks, Jose. Got it. Killed it. Oh, yeah. Look at this thing. I got in here earlier today, did a little bit more Sema prep. Actually getting prepped for the dyno. The first thing I did, I put a K&N intake on just to free up some more air. We're trying to get a little bit more power out of it. Probably the biggest thing we've done for looks is adding these 3-piece wheels. These are the Heritage Hokkaido. They're 15 by 8 minus 15. It added some to the track width. Apart from that, we wanted to get a smaller tire, so we got these BF Goodrich G4 Sports. They're a lot smaller than what we had before, so we have better clearance. And after that, we had to add a battery because we blew up the old one. So we got this Interstate battery, and then we got the big Country Labs wing today. And look at these end plates Kyle made. Actually, Rob helped out on this too. So we made 214 wheel horsepower last time. Now we have the new Dashworks fuel pump and 1000cc injectors. We're gonna run E85 hopefully, and we will make more power. There's a huge shout out to JDM California. It gave us a really nice motor, and the Craftworks supercharger is just unreal. Sema will be the first time you see this thing rip, so I'm particularly excited to go to Sema just to drive this thing with shit car and thrash with my friends. Just have a look at it. When you hired for me for this job, do you ever think I'd make something like this?
I mean, I thought you'd make better, but this is cool.
This is what I did. This is what I came up with.
This is what you did.
This is what I came up with. You're like, here.
This is actually the first thing.
Here's your $200 Miata.
This was your first job.
This is my first job.
When you came here, I was like, can you finish cutting all the parts off of this and weld things to it?
Day one. And then I've never stopped.
But you should never stop on this thing. It needs to be like the forever like progression. Like it just keeps getting better and better.
This is supposed to be what it was.
What's that house? Where they kept modifying the house over and over again. Bear with us for a second as I remember. Starts with a W.
Bruh.
Comment below if you remember the name of the house. It's a crazy person. They kept modifying their house. Anyway.
Zach, you've changed. A unicycle?